So here it is asking us to go ahead and graph the two systems to figure out what the answer is to this system is. So the first thing we want to do is whenever we have equations that we want to graph, the best thing to do is to put it in slope-intercept form. Are there alternatives? Absolutely, but usually it's going to be one of the quickest ones to use. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So this is the form that we're striving for. So on that note, let's go ahead and work on the first equation. We have, let's change the thickness of the pen real quick. We have 4x minus 3y equals 9. My goal is to isolate y, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and move the 4x over by subtracting 4x to both sides, leaving me with negative 3y equals negative 4x plus 9. Still, y is not isolated, so I need to get rid of that negative 3. This means negative 3 times y, so the inverse would be to divide by negative 3. And here I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. So now I'm left with y equals, a negative times a negative is a positive, so I'm left with 4/3 x. Here, a positive divided by negative is a negative. 9 can be divided by 3 evenly, which is going to leave me with a 3. So at this point, I can go ahead and actually graph. My y-intercept is at negative 3, and my slope is 4/3. So first, plotting my point at the y-intercept of negative 3. Since the slope is 4/3, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be the first line of the first equation. But then, of course, we need to go ahead and also graph the second equation. So here we have negative x plus 7y equals 29. So the first thing we want to do, again, is to get into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and do the inverse by adding x to both sides, leaving me with 7y equals x plus 29. Now, almost there, we still need to isolate this y by getting rid of the 7. This means 7 times y, so the inverse would be to divide both sides by 7. So now I'm going to be left with y equals, essentially this is 1/7 x plus 29/7 because I cannot reduce that. Unfortunately, with this equation, I can't easily graph it because 29/7 isn't a nice whole number. So in a case like this where you can't easily graph it like the first example, what you're going to want to do is revert back to what we used to do, which is find values for x and values for y that will leave you with a true statement. So that's what I'm going to do. Here I have negative x plus 7y equals 29. I need a value for x and I need a value for y that will make this a true statement. So let's see. What I can do here is make the y a 4, which would make this 28. So in order to get 29, I would need to make this a positive 1. So I'm going to go ahead and make x a negative 1. So let's see if this works. Negative times negative 1 is positive 1. 7 times 4 is 28. Does this equal 29? Yes. So my ordered pair, I'm going to go ahead and write it right here. X was a negative 1 and y is a positive 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and get another pair. Why do I need another ordered pair? Because in order to graph a line, you at least need 2 points. So let's think of another one. Okay, so what if I made y a 3? Okay, if I make y a 3, this would be 21. And in order to get this to become 29, I need to make x times a negative be a negative 8, positive 8. So in this case, let's try making x a negative 8. A negative times a negative 8 gives you positive 8 plus 7 times 3, which is 21. Does this work? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and say this ordered pair works. I'm going to go ahead and use x as negative 8 and y as a positive 3. So now we have 2 ordered pairs. This is enough for us to draw a line. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. First, plot this point. I'm going to go to negative 1 and then go up 4. That's my first ordered pair. The next ordered pair is -8, 3. So I'm going to go to -8. Since it's a +3, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. So there is my graph. At this point, I can actually go ahead and find where the two lines intersect to figure out what the solution is. In this case, it intersects right here, which the point is 6, 5. So here, I would go ahead and check this answer and type in 6, 5. And that's all you would need to do. I do have some students who will go ahead and solve this using elimination or using substitution, some other method. They'll have the correct answer, but they're confused to why their graph is incorrect. Because you need to make sure your graph correlates to one of these two equations. Simply plotting the correct answer on the graph is not going to be good enough.